23rd, 2015, at approximately 218 hours. Officers were dispatched to 4302 Boone Street in reference to a shooting. Upon the officer's arrival, they met with Brett Price, Akeem Davis, Christopher Wilson, and Corey Anderson. The subjects took the officers to a bedroom located in the center of the residence where Keith Wilbert Jr. was located. Officers noticed that Wilbert had what appeared to be a gunshot wound near his neck and was unresponsive. At approximately 253 hours, Jefferson County Coroner pronounced Mr. Wilbert deceased at that time. At that time, Detective Oswald was notified of the situation and took over that investigation. On September 24, 2015, at approximately 1955 hours, Detective Gaylor was investigating a shooting at a residence that occurred at 1200 North Hazel Street. During that investigation, Detective Gaylor located an Omni 15 semi-automatic rifle and a 40 caliber Smith & Wesson semi-automatic handgun in the possession of Casey Miller. It was discovered that the 40 caliber Smith & Wesson semi-automatic handgun had been reported stolen. On December 16, 2015, detectives were notified through an anonymous tip that the 40 caliber Smith & Wesson semi-automatic handgun that was recovered by Detective Gailey on September 24, 2015 from 1200 North Hazel Street was a weapon used to kill Mr. Wilbert on September 23, 2015. At that time, the detectives contacted the Arkansas State Crime Lab and informed them of this new development. After the Arkansas State Crime Lab performed all the required tests on that gun against the shell casing and projectile that was recovered from Mr. Wilbert's body, officers were notified and informed that the gun was the same weapon used to kill Mr. Wilbert. On January 14, 2016, at approximately 12:01 hours, at Phillips County, Arkansas Sheriff's Department, detectives advised Casey Miller of his Miranda rights, which he stated he understood. Miller stated that on September 24, 2015, approximately an hour before the shooting at the residence at 1200 North Hazel Street, he had asked his neighbor, whom he identified as black, but later identified as Harold Magee, to borrow a gun. Miller stated that Magee is the subject that provided him with the 40 caliber Smith & Wesson semi-automatic handgun. Miller also stated that he had seen Magee on several occasions with that handgun, approximately at least 2 weeks prior to the shooting, located at his residence. At that time, Mr. Miller was transported to the Dub Brazil Detention Center, where he was booked in on a separate warrant. On January 15, 2015, detectives spoke with two separate witnesses that also stated that Miller had received the 40 caliber Smith & Wesson semi-automatic handgun approximately 1 hour prior to the shooting at 1200 North Hazel Street on September 24, 2015. They stated that that handgun was provided by Mr. Magee. On January 20th, 2016, at approximately 936 hours, detectives advised Mr. Magee of his Miranda rights, which he stated he understood. Mr. Magee denied any involvement in the death of Mr. Wilbert. Magee also denied ever supplying a 40 caliber Smith & Wesson semi-automatic handgun to Miller. Mr. Magee was then transported to the Dub Brazil Detention Center and booked in for capital murder. Based on the allegations in the affidavit, the state will ask for no bond in this case.